Dressed in black from head to toe, Chris Washburne certainly fits the image of a jazz musician. But his musical pedigree runs deep. He's a classically trained trombonist with a Ph.D. from Columbia University. As a session musician, he's played with everyone from Tito Puente to Celine Dion. And every Sunday night, in a tiny club on Manhattan's Upper West Side, Chris and his band play the music whose rhythms are close to his heart. Chris first heard Latin music in Boston. He was a 21-year-old grad student asked to sit in with a local salsa band.
Man, I heard that music and it was almost an instant love affair.
The affair grew into a long-term relationship, one which brought him to New York City in 1989. He arrived with a single phone number.
I called him up and I said, "Do you need a trombone player? I just moved to town." And he said, "Yes, matter of fact, we're doing a rehearsal. Can you come down tonight?"
He's had steady work ever since.
And it's all about hard work. Nothing. There's no shortcuts.
He practices up to 4 hours a day, relishing every note he plays. And it's more than just a passion for the music. 9 years ago, Chris Washburne received a diagnosis that nearly ended his career and his life. It started with a trip to a plastic surgeon to remove a mole on his face.
He said, "Look, you have a very rare form of melanoma that affects the nerve, and it's very deadly. You have a 50% chance of living. And if there's anything you want to accomplish in your life, you might want to do it right now." I said, "Look, if you're going to remove half my face, I'm a trombone player." He goes, "You'll never play trombone again."
The band had one more gig scheduled before Chris's surgery. That night on stage, they all knew it might be the last time they played together.
A phrase occurred to me that I wrote down on a piece of paper. "See you on the other side." And I started introducing the band by that name, the See You on the Other Side band. And the guys in the band were like, "What?" And at the end of the night, they said, "Why did you call it that?" And I said, "Because that was a message to you guys. I'm going to see you on the other side. Whether it's the other side of not being able to play trombone again or with a more existential meaning, I'll see you guys on the other side."
On the other side of surgery, Chris spent the next 3 months trying to figure out what to do with his life.
I couldn't go out and see any music. I couldn't listen to music. It was just so difficult. I was looking at my trombone case, and I said, "To hell with them. I'm going to do this." And I picked up my trombone, and I tried to play. But I had no muscle control on the one side, so I had to hold my face shut.
He played for a minute and a half that first day, until the pain forced him to stop. But he kept at it, a little longer and a little stronger every day. When a friend asked him to play at a benefit, he hesitated.
I said, "Look, I can only play half the notes that are on the page." He said, "Don't worry about it. Just play."
So he played. And eventually the music came back to him. He had his own ways of marking the milestones along the way.
When I did my first record after about 2 years, I remember just going to my doctors and just giving them the CD and walking out.
And when it was time to get the band back together,
as a way of always reminding myself of that experience, I used "See You on the Other Side," each of the first letters of that phrase.
He christened them SYOTOS. Chris doesn't tell his audiences the meaning behind the band's name. He'd rather talk about his music and the feeling he gets each time he takes the stage.
I still get a thrill from the fact that people actually pay us to have so much fun.